is up, everybody? BK Voiceover here, and welcome to the latest episode of Seahawks News by BK. I'm your host, BK Voiceover, and today, this day of August 15th, 2022, we have a couple of news items to go over. Relatively small, considering like some of the other news items that have happened over this offseason, but still noteworthy nonetheless. So first off, before I go ahead and dive into things, I just want to give you all a reminder. If you like the video, you want to see more content, be sure to throw a like so I know that I'm doing a good job. And then, of course, if you want to see more of this content, more news, more insight, more discussion about Seahawks football, be sure to hit that subscribe button to be made aware of whenever I post new videos. Also, hitting the bell icon helps with that too. So, without further ado, we are going to jump right into the news items of the past week or so. Starting off, Quandre Diggs. NFL is starting to come out with their top 100 players of 2022, and Quandre Diggs hits the list at 72. He was like number 77 last season, I believe. Yes, I think it was 77 last season. So up 5 spots, not nearly enough if you ask me. He has had back-to-back seasons where he's had 5 picks. One of the highest rated safeties in all of football. He has 5 consecutive seasons of 3 or more interceptions, which is just insane. Dude's one of the most underrated defensive backs in all of football, and he deserves to be higher. Definitely deserves to be higher. But you know what? He's probably going to be the only Seahawk on this list, so, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the good with the bad, and I'm really happy that he was back in the top 100, because right now there's no Seahawk on this team that is more deserving of that. So, moving on, another couple quick news items. The Seahawks did make a trade today, an interesting trade. They traded nickel corner / safety Ugo Amadi to the Eagles for wide receiver J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Of course, Ugo Amadi was a 4th-round pick back in 2019, same draft class as Arcega-Whiteside, who was taken in the 2nd round before DK Metcalf. And I think if you follow the draft, or you follow Eagles football at all, I don't think I need to explain to you that JJ was a massive disappointment for the Eagles. So honestly, we're looking for any opportunity they could to ship him away for anything at this point. And I think it worked out well for both teams. The Seahawks are really feeling the brunt of some injuries at the wide receiver position, and they really just need some camp bodies in order to get through. Eagles also looking for some more backfield depth, and the Seahawks also looking to get rid of that $2.5 million that Ugo Amadi is due this season. So honestly, I think it's a pretty good trade for both parties. More of a short-term help for sure. I doubt Arcega-Whiteside makes the 53-man. I think Ugo Amadi has a good chance of making it, but the fact that he was playing with the 3rd-string DBs during the first preseason game against the Steelers, it ain't looking exactly too great. Thanks Ugo for all your time here. Hope you do better with the Eagles, and who knows, maybe Arcega-Whiteside will turn a corner. Maybe he just needs a different system in order to work, but we shall have to see. And then last but not least, on top of those roster moves, cutdown day is tomorrow afternoon. So teams are starting to get a head start on trimming their rosters down to the 85 players necessary. So Seattle did that. They waived 4 players. They placed, as well as placing a wide receiver, Cody Thompson on injured reserve, which completely ends his season. He's donezo. I think he suffered a pretty bad shoulder injury during the preseason game against the Steelers, which sucks because he was having such a good camp. I think he would have been a potential bubble guy to make the roster. So sucks that he's done for the season, but we'll have to see where we go from here. Aside from Cody Thompson getting moved over to IR, the Seahawks also waived 4 players: cornerback Josh Valentine Turner. He was a UDFA signed just after the draft. He was part of like the first wave of guys. They also waived defensive tackle Antonio Valentino, guard Eric Wilson, and receiver Deontez Alexander, all of whom were tryout players. They were signed at different times, but all after they had a successful workout with the team. Which, again, kind of expected. But some other good news on top of some of the crappy news of Cody Thompson is rookie tackle Liam Ryan. He did pass his physical. He was activated from the PUP list today. So that means that of the 4 players that initially went on the PUP list at the start of the season, only 2 of them remain. So we're moving in the right direction, which is really good. That brings us down to 86. And because Aaron Donkor does not count against the 90-man roster cap, we're allowed to keep 86 players. So right now we're actually sitting pretty in a pretty good spot from a roster standpoint. Actually, let's go take a look at what the roster looks like at this point without them. So this is my own side roster that I'm keeping. So I think I already took them. Yeah, I already took them off. Yep. So Geno Smith, Drew Lock, Jacob Eason, quarterback room is the same. Running back room's the same. We went from 13 wide receivers on the roster down to only 12. Again, half of these guys are not going to make the 50. At least half these guys aren't going to make the 53-man, so we'll have to see. Good to have Liam Ryan back up. Guard depth is down a little bit. We already have a ton of corners, so the loss of Valentine Turner is not going to hurt much at all. All these guys that are cut after the first preseason game usually never had much of a chance. Will never have a chance to make an NFL roster. They're not NFL caliber players, but they are around for like depth and like practice purposes during the offseason. But yeah, so with that being said, we have another game coming up here on Thursday at home against the Chicago Bears. Oh wait, no, it's not against the Bears. I think it's against the Cowboys. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's. Shoot, I'm getting them all mixed up. Seahawks roster schedule. I'm getting this all mixed up. Nope, it is the Chicago Bears. All right. So with that being said, that's all the little news items I have for today. Again, not a whole lot. I'm going to be doing my Steelers versus Seahawks breakdown tomorrow, going over winners, losers, individual like position battles and where I think those are at, as well as a new 53-man roster prediction coming out of that game. So be on the lookout for that. I'm probably going to be posting that tomorrow. But with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you like the content, be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I post. So thank you all for watching, and as always, go Hawks.